العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده تبارك وتعالى ونصلي على جميع أنبيائه ورسله ونستفتح بالذي هو خير. سبحانك ربنا لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. نعوذ بك اللهم من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا، من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله وسلم عليه وعلى آله وصحبه. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from us all the deeds that we do for His sake. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us beneficial knowledge and to protect us the way He protected His book, to make us among those who are attached to the Quran, guided by the Quran in this life, and sheltered from hellfire in the hereafter. We ask Allah to make the Quran our guide to the Jannah, inshaAllah. By the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are in Surah Nahl, honeybees. The surah name is honeybees, and we have discovered that the title or the theme of the surah is the greatness of Allah that can be shown here in this surah, manifested in 5 aspects of Allah. Number 1, His greatness in His creation. Second, His greatness in His bounties. Third, His greatness in His knowledge. Fourth, His greatness in His, what did we say last time? In His sovereignty or the
manifestation of will. I don't know.
Okay, His will and His power. Fine. Might and will and power. So these are 5 names of Allah. Really, these are 5 qualities and names. These are critical names of the name of Allah. Allah has 99 names, but these 6 or 5 names you must study and learn them in detail to perfect your iman. In all book of Aqidah, in the early, not today, this is the area where they speak about Aqidah. In addition to that Allah, the Lord, and the divine or the deity, these are the 6 qualities that you have to learn. That is, your iman is perfect. The rest of them, you don't have to learn them. You can if you want to, but these 6 is musts. At least beside learning Allah is the Lord and learning Allah is the deity to be worshipped, you have to learn these names of Allah. So the surah in detail, powerful way really to bring those over and over and over. We already went through some of these signs, but again we have to remember number 1, because number 1 is the conclusion of every sign Allah brings. Number 1, أتى أمر الله فلا تستعجلوه سبحانه وتعالى عما يشركون. That is what is going to be repeated after every sign that we're going to study and every manifestation of the names of Allah. That is, the order of Allah has come to pass in any aspect, in addition to the day of judgment or death. Whatever in this universe, you see the order of Allah has come to pass, or it is already perfected there. And then what is not past yet, don't rush it. It's coming. Just like the way all these already gone, the other commandment or other orders of Allah are coming. Whether the victory of Muslims or death or the defeat and the miserable of the kafir, All of these are coming. فَلَا تَسْتَعْجِلُوا. What has come has come, and you know it. What is promised to come is coming, and you don't need to rush it. That is second. Third, when we look to those manifestations, we find ourselves out of love and humbleness to say Subhanah, glory to Him. Ta'ala, what he said? Ta'ala, exalted. Amma yushrikun. How come humanity, after all of these, is still committing shirk? After all of these, it's just basically make no sense that people, after all of this manifestation, signs, verses, Quran, creation, orders, still people committing shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what we say, ta'ala, means He is in any way, no similarity to His creation at all. So that is the
exact meaning of Amma.
He is totally different than what they claim. Basically that's what it is. He is totally different than what they claim. And this is really, I mean, if we want to go to a problem, you know, the Christians say Muslims don't worship our God, right? And we keep saying, no, we worship your God. Okay? And actually we don't. Their God is not the same. It is not Allah. And we read in the Quran what? قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ. Right, so I don't worship what you worship. But we keep many speakers, we keep speaking, no, we worship your God. You are wrong, absolutely wrong. Because Allah said, oh, who you disbelieve or mushrik, I do not worship what you worship. Because what you worship, something manufactures in your mind. I worship someone that is the great in His creation, that is great in His bounties, as is described in the Quran. That is the one I worship. You don't worship Him. They don't worship Allah, that alone. I mean, they believe in Allah. That is fine. And so we believe in one God. That is fine. But when we come to worship, really, their deity that they worship, something they made. Do we worship something we made? Or do we? So we don't. That's why we keep repeating, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ لَا أَعْبُدُ مَا تَعْبُدُونَ. I do not worship what you worship. And you don't worship what I worship, really. So you have your own things manufactured for you, but I have the deen. Okay, so that is ta'ala amma yushrikun, means once you realize how Allah describes Himself different than all the claims that all people have claimed about God, you can tell, I don't worship what you claim. I don't worship Jesus. I don't worship God the way you describe it, or you understood it, or you believe in it. I don't. All of it wrong, and all of it made up. Ta'ala, that's what is ta'ala. Okay? He is different than what the unbeliever and mushrik think or describe or associate. Alright, then we went to verse number 3, and that is the whole statement, which we are going to dissect small by small. خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ بِالْحَقِّ تَعَالَى عَمَّا يُشْرِكُونَ. So do Bismillah, do number 1 and number 3.
Bismillah. The event, the hour, or the punishment of the disbelievers and the polytheists, or the mushrik, or the Islamic laws or commandments ordained by Allah will come to pass, so seek not to hurry it. Glorified and exalted is Allah above all that they associate as partners with Allah. Allah has created the heavens and the earth with truth. High is Allah, exalted above all that they associate as partners with Allah.
That is the first. He created heaven and earth by the truth. And from there he said, Ta'ala amma yushrikun. Whatever they describe has no truth in it. Whatever they describe as God has no truth in it. And that is, we said, is going to be Ta'ala amma yushrikun. Allah is different than whatever anybody claims. Allah is what He described Himself in the Quran, and no more and no less. What? Naam. Yeah, means He is high and way away from their descriptions. But also, Ta'ala means Allah is high in regard to His creation. He's not part of it. He's not in it. He is not in any way similar to it. He is high above all this creation. And that is because we have to, then Allah is, there is no, okay, the creation of Allah is a small part of His dominion. Okay, so you can't say He's in there. Alright? All this creation, heaven and earth and all this great creation, how big and vast, how majesty in it. These all a small element in His dominion. That is what Ta'ala. And then we started with the number. We said number 3 is the general statement, and we take it in pieces. The first piece was number 4. خلق الإنسان من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين. And there is no one can explain this, even if you bring the most eloquent person by Arabic for the whole of the rest of their life. Just this one sentence. خلق الإنسان من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين.
Allah has created insan, the human being, man, from nutfatin, mixed drops of male and female discharge. Then behold, this same creation, al-insan, becomes an open opponent, disputant.
There's two part on it. We didn't have to go through it. We went last time. Nutfa, when you look into that nutfa, or a mixed drop, from all aspects, whether chemistry or physics or science or whatever it is, element, components, you find it homogeneous. You know what is? It's same. All what is in it is same. Nutfa. Okay? If you take the sperm or the eggs, when you get into the element into it, you find that just one thing is all homogeneous. But when it is created as a man, you are not homogeneous. What is in your brain, those cells, totally different than the cells of your skin, or bones, or hairs. Well, all this variety of different things come from one thing which is same. That is nutfa, a drop of semen. It's when you look into it, it's just same thing. But the creation of Allah makes it all this, no limit. How many different things in you as a human being, there is no one can really comprehend how many different cells and organs and functions and qualities and attributes. No one absolutely can just comprehend this, no matter how much knowledge. And that's why Allah said, you have very little of knowledge. Don't brag about it. Here, a small drop that is just basically homogeneous by all our capability to understand. Maybe it is different, but we can't understand it. Maybe all those elements in it, but we don't. You look at it, you can analyze it by any way. Take it to any lab and analyze it. You will find it just homogeneous. And then Allah said, He is the creator, makes out of it human being. And as we know, we are a whole universe. What is in us? It's just whole universe. And all these are different. And they are teamed to work. Your fingers, your eyes, your eyelash, your brows, your ears, they just all in very perfect way. Teamed, networked, and under your command. So that is خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِن نُطْفَةٍ, saying, how can you compare him to anyone else? تَعَالَ عَمَّا يُشْرِكُونَ. There is none can do anything like that. There is none can understand it. Forget about doing something like that. There is none can understand it all in detail. There is none. And that's why you say Ta'ala, exalted above all His creations, no similarity. If we are unable just to understand His creation, how you can understand Him? Or you compare Him, so that is خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِن نُطْفَةٍ. This statement, as I told you, just there is no way anyone in the whole world can come to explain it all in detail. There is no way. You can take all the scientists of the world, bring them together, and say how this drop become a human being. It will take all their life, and they will never finish. And they will never understand some. When the cells start splitting, you know, once the eggs fertile get start splitting cells, still all those cells split. Still most of the time homogeneous. Go to the biologist, will tell you. In a certain period of time, you still start seeing. When the split cell start behaving differently, as if it's going to form the eye, the cornea, the nose, the heart, totally start shaping in a different one. But they came from the same thing. And so on and so forth. Now, just look to you right now. The elements, the part, the cell, the organ in you, each one of them is just miracle by itself, and knowledge and science beyond our ability to finish it and understand it and comprehend it. خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانِ. Then what do we say when we learn this? We say Subhanah. When you understand this, what do you say? Subhanallah. Because this is only He can do. No one can do something like that. And that is why the second part is just how foolish man, this human being, become what? Opponent. Become opponent, and that's why Allah in many places said, look to your origin from a filthy drop. How you raise opposition? Where do you come from? Where do you get the might, the power, the authority to raise opposition to Him? Where do you get it? You know, we don't accept our kids to oppose us. We don't accept that. Look how much I did for you. You better ashamed of yourself. Just move away. And though we didn't do anything really for kids. But Allah said, I made you from these little things, filthy. How can you stand up to raise opposition and denial? And I am delivering to you all these kind of Surah Al-Nahl. How you dare to deny or reject? And then we said that is heaven and earth, then in the men, now the cattle. And Allah has divided those cattle or animals into two categories. One for benefits and food and ride and all this, and the other ones just for specific things, beauty and ride. So he put them in two categories, and it is totally different categories, though Allah has created them for all of us. وَالْأَنْعَامَ خَلَقَهَا لَكُمْ فِيهَا دِفْءٌ وَمَنَافِعُ وَمِنْهَا تَأْكُلُونَ. Cattle was created, and this rebated in Surah Al-An'am. فِيهَا دِفْءٌ warmth and benefits, and from it and what's produced you eat. وَلَكُمْ also جَمَالٌ حِينَ تُرِيحُونَ وَحِينَ تَسْرَحُونَ. Also it's you can use it for competition and adornments and beauty and exhibition and all these things. Also we use all the animals, we can use them in that regard as a source of beauty and decoration. And no house on earth that doesn't have something belong to animals that is decorating your house. There is nothing, or clothes. There are people that use natural things. You see the horn of the antler, or you see the horn of the axe, or the beautiful things in their houses. So decoration also use the skin. They use it for special mats, special pillows, and special jacket, and so on and so forth. The fur, and so on and so forth. The bones used in many. So manafi' also benefits, food, warmth, beauty. Whether you are even traveling or where you are at home, the shoes and all this. Say when you travel, it's still beautiful shoes. Where did they come from? Also from the animals. Now, وَتَحْمِلُ أَثْقَالَكُمْ إِلَى بَلَدٍ لَمْ تَكُونُوا بَالِغِيهِ إِلَّا بِشِقِّ الْأَنفُسِ. One of the job and function of those cattle or those animals to carry heavy load, that you can do it. بِشِقِّ الْأَنفُسِ. Shiq means hardship, or as if you are going to get half of your life to reach that place, but the animal can do it easily. إِنَّ رَبَّكُمْ لَرَؤُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. It is Allah who is Ra'ufur Rahim, what he said. Okay, let's go through the translation, and then this is just a review how we are going to approach this surah. Go ahead. Number 5 and 6 and 7.
Inshallah. And the cattle, Allah has created them for you. In them there is warmth, clothing, and numerous benefits, and of them you eat. And wherein is beauty for you when you bring them home in the evening, as you lead them forth to the pasture in the morning. And they carry your loads to a land that you could not reach except with great trouble to yourselves. Truly your Lord is full of kindness, most merciful.
Ra'uf, him translated kindness, but it is not quiet. Rahim, we know, merciful. Ra'uf, basically the one who understands what you are going through and respond to help you. That is Ra'uf. Someone understands what you are going through and responds to relieve you, to help you, to guide you, to facilitate for you. That is Ra'uf. Without question. Okay, you don't ask. He knows what you are going through and takes care of it without you. Sometimes you are aware of it, or you have not even asked. That is Ra'uf. So even when we don't ask, Allah doesn't let us alone. They still care and take care of what we are going through. And that is Ra'uf. It's not initiated by us. When we pray and ask Allah, that is different. And that is Allah respond and answer the dua and also take care of that. But we go through many things that We don't ask Allah, we don't think of anyone can understand us. Basically, sometimes you feel no one can understand what I am going through. Allah said, no, I do. Not only I do, and I take care of it without you asking. That is Ra'uf. Where do you find this quality? It's only His. Because, all the creations, the most bright creation is human being. But I can't understand what he's going through. Explain it to me, explain it. Still I can't understand it really the way he lives it. And if I understand it, I'm not going to do anything. So, Ra'uf. And that's why, what we say? Subhanallah. That is what, when you understand that, just Ra'uf, you say Subhanallah. Where you can find this quality and care. And you know how much He got. Ta'ala. We said all this universe is a small ring in His domain. It's still you, as little beyond your imagination. It's still He knows what you are going through and takes care of it and push you forward. And that's why we say Subhanallah and we say Alhamdulillah. That is Ra'ufun Rahim. And the second, number 8, we said wal khayla wal bighala wal hamir. Go ahead.
And Allah has created the horses, the mules, and the donkeys for you to ride as an adornment. And Allah creates other things of which you have no knowledge.
Now, I think you already noticed. In the first kind of an'am, said also from it or what produce you eat. When it comes to the horses, mules and donkeys, it didn't put that word that you eat from it. And here scholar decided that eating the meat of horses, mules and donkeys is not allowed. Because over there Allah stated. For the cattle, Allah stated. But when it comes to the horses, mules, donkeys, Allah said it's only to ride and decor and beauty and might, and Allah might create similar to that. That is, you don't know, but it's not for eating. Okay, so that is why basically scholars, many of them agreed that the meat of horses and mules and donkeys is not allowed to eat. And we don't have to go through much detail of that, but that's how the distinction, why it has been said that way, and this one is put in a separate category. And we said also last time, this category, which is the horses and the mule and the donkeys, we can't separate ourselves from them. So wherever we go, we become industrial societies, but still we keep and preserve horses, mule and donkeys. But we've just distance ourselves and disconnect our life from the cattle. We don't want goats, sheep, cows. We don't want them. We just leave them on the farm for the farmers, and so on and so forth. So that's why Allah put it in a different category. Now, number 9, وَعَلَى اللَّهِ قَصْدُ السَّبِيلِ وَمِنْهَا جَائِرٌ وَلَوْ شَاءَ لَهَدَاكُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. Now, Allah move us to a different issue, but it is in the same logic and foundations. As we discovered how He created heaven and earth, how He is different than all His creation, how He created man from a mixed drop, and how created the cattle and how much benefit of it, said in similar way, in the same way, His laws, His order, His sharia, His straight path also being perfected the way I perfected all of these I mentioned to you. As I perfected you from a drop, perfected heaven and earth and the truth, I perfected the cattle and the horses and mule for you, also I perfected the straight path for you. Same way, I am the one who did all of this, means the deen. وَعَلَى اللَّهِ قَصْدٍ. Qasd means as Allah subdued, made those cattle and animals in our surface, listening to us and do whatever we want to do. Allah said, and made it basically easy to manage and benefit. If one of these animals was created to be rebellious, you can do nothing. You only kill it. If the cow or the ox or the camel or the horse decided not to submit to you, what are you going to do? You cannot control it. Right? So, means Allah has what? Made them obedience easy for you to roll and control and benefit. Well, at the same way, Allah makes the deen, the path taking you to Jannah, same way, very simple, very easy. Just you take the rope and push it down and the camel kneel and you ride. He said, my sharia is same, so easy going. It's not something that is rebellious, that's something you cannot control, you cannot take. It's not. Just like you find it easy to benefit from all of this creation. Let's say, easy to have a children. It's very easy. Just get married and Allah will bring you children. What do? You think you are doing something, but you are really not doing anything. Absolutely, you are not doing anything. You just enjoy your life. And then Allah brings children. Same thing. You just get the cow there and you milk it. You stand up. Some of them even they push their leg away for you to milk it. It can kick you and kill you. If Allah did not make them obedience to you. So he said, and in the same way, as I facilitated to you all of these, I have facilitated to you the deen of Allah. I have facilitated to you the deen of Allah. That is وَعَلَى اللَّهِ قَصْدُ السَّبِيلِ وَمِنْهَا جَائِرٌ. But some of Ja'ir means here some they take the crooked way. That's when Hajar. Some they see it so easy, they take it crooked way. Why? Just like some people abuse animals. That is Ja'ir. Or some just leave the straight path and go and do the wrong things. His wife at home and he go and date another woman. That is Ja'ir. Crookedness. Go off the straight path. Jump off the edge. That is Ja'ir. If you go straight, smooth with it, that is the fine way and that is natural way. You jump out of it, it will be difficult for you in this life and the hereafter. Ja'ir is coming from injustice. Jawr, dhulm, injustice. So if you don't use the animal the way Allah did and thank Him, that is Ja'ir. You are doing injustice to the animals, to yourself. If you don't use the deen of Allah the way He put it, you are going into become oppressors, abuser, doing wrong in yourself and committing injustice. That is Ja'ir. وَعَلَى اللَّهِ I made it easy. Why you make it difficult? Why you go right or left? Ja'ir means take turn, exit from the straight path, commit wrong, abuse, or misuse, or deny to thank Him. That is Ja'ir. So when you have a straight path, that is easy to go. If you want to take exit, what do you have to do? You have to slow down. Or you are going 90 miles an hour on the highway, and then you're going to go through the exit 90 miles per hour. What are you going to do? All right. So that's what Allah said, Ja'ir. You just do yourself wrong things. Go straight. Why you want to get out? If you have to, it is legal, it is permitted, it is allowed. You have to slow down and stop and look around before you leave the straight path. But he can't just go straight. So that is what is ja'ir. You basically, ja'ir, men use and abuse and never show great gratitude. Use and abuse and does not show gratitude. Not only that, go beyond that. Raise opposition and denial to Allah. That is ja'ir. Why you do all this wrongdoing? Why? Just as you said, Allah has given you the animals. Why you abuse it? Okay, here the donkey that much can carry. Why you double it and you beat it and you don't feed it? That is ja'ir. And so on and so forth. وَعَلَى اللَّهِ قَصْدُ السَّبِيلِ. The path to Him is as easy as you see it in your life. Water comes and you drink and get all the fruits, and so easy. The cow there, you can drink it and you can get meat from it. All of this easy. Don't go the wrong way where you don't use it the way it has been designed to be used. You benefit, you save, and you thank God and you go to the Jannah. وَلَوْ شَاءَ, Allah said He could prevented you from doing this wrongdoing. And we know Allah is what we said in Surah Al-Ra'd. Allah is limitless patient with us. Whenever we do something wrong, He said, give them respite, they might turn around. He said here, He could have stopped you. Whenever you start doing something, He could have stopped you. But hopefully you're going to come back, remind you and waiting for you to come back and not give you chances to repent and to correct yourself and to think and to use your mind and to look to the Quran and understand what you're supposed to do. So, وَلَوْ شَاءَ لَهَدَاكُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. He could have made you like an ant. You know, all the other creations, they have no chance to do this ja'ir. All creations of Allah follow His laws straight, never right, no left. The way He designed them, created them, made them function, they follow it. Whether animals or trees or wind or sun or moon or this, all of it, the way He designed it, it works. Except men, giving power to choose. And that is the key word that maybe we have to just think about it. What is life? What is life? What is life? A challenge. What is life? Huh?
Our test.
Test? What is life?
Well, not challenge.
No. Huh?
Choices.
Yep. Life is making choices. That's what is life.
That is true.
Really, life is choices. And it is only for men, not for any other creation. And other creation, they don't have no choices. You know the animals, if they have a choice, they will just yank you with their horn and throw you all the way, just like the Spanish poor race. If they have a choice. They have no choice even to complain, animals. Starving. And they just keep listening to you. They are overburdened, overloaded, beaten up, and they just sit. They have no choice even to complain. But in the day of judgment, Allah said, they are going to be empowered. And they will tell you everything wrong you did to them. All. And that's one of the tabi'een, is to tell his camel every time. Use it, say to the camel, please don't raise opposition and complaint against me in the day of judgment. I am conscious to be fair and kind, but still worried. Might this animal become your enemy, and will become your enemy in the day of judgment. He will become your enemy in the day of judgment and will complain. And Allah will bring justice. One, probably you know, one of the miracles of the Prophet ﷺ was walking with his Sahaba somewhere, and then he stopped seeing a camel there. And it appears to them, he's talking to the camel. And the Sahaba said, what's? He said, the camel complaining the man, bring the owner of this camel. Yeah. He said, complaining that you starve him, and you overload him, and you beat him. Told him, this is your straight path to hellfire. Prophet told him, this is your straight path to hellfire. Ujum, he said, right now can't speak, can't complain, can't rebel. Why you become a tyrant on it? Be gentle and kind. So that is وَعَلَى اللَّهِ قَصْدٌ. I said I made it straight and easy. Don't do it the wrong way. And this is everything. As-sabil means all affairs of this life, and especially halal and haram. Halal is facilitated, perfected, natural, easy. Haram is the opposite, jair. Injustice, crookedness, getting the exit 90 miles an hour, all that is in the haram things. And so on and so forth. As-sabil include a comprehensive word, includes everything in this life. But again we said, all the creations of Allah have no choices in this life. The sun, the earth, probably also you heard the hadith. The minute people put you in the grave, what happened? Earth hugs you, because they are permitted. You are not anymore alive. So all the creations permitted to act and react to you. So the grave hugs the person the minute arrived until the ribs exchange. The right one moves to the left and the left to the right, especially if you are wrongdoers. And everything after that, everything is permitted to react. You can't be anymore like in this life, tyrant and do whatever you want to do and nobody will ask you. No. Even your eyes will repel, or your nose or your hand. You can't anymore after that. Your authority and power is gone, finished. And all getting their autonomous power to stand up. And that's why they're going to stand up in the day of judgment. Even your tongue, all of these were in the animals too, and the trees and the nature and the water, all of things that you have abused are going to stand up. وَعَلَى اللَّهِ قَصْدُ. Okay, you have, okay. Maybe, did you listen to the translation?
No.
It might be, the translation might be funny.
It was doing good enough.
Okay. No, I want to listen to you.
Alhamdulillah. And upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the responsibility to explain the straight path. But there are ways that turn people away, such as paganism, Judaism, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, so on and so forth.
This is all jahl.
And had Allah willed, Allah would have guided everybody, all of mankind.
Allah could have said, Allah could have made it like an ant, have no choices. Or like all these creation that has no choices. But honoring us and said, I'll give you this life, which is basically, and we have to understand, life is no more than you make choices. Every single minute you make choices. Sleep or wake up, walk or work, read or not read, pray or not pray, learn or not learn. All of it basically, life is choices and you make them through. If you are not listening to Allah, you make the wrong choices and then you have to bear the consequences in the day of judgment. So that is وَلَوْ شَاءَ Allah. The believers, they just appreciate this honor. I thank you, Allah, that you give me autonomy, where I am not like those animals around me or those creations. I have a brain and mind and way to analyze and make decisions and choices. I thank you. This is the greatest power you have given me, and empower me. I'm autonomous. That's one of the bounties, and that's why what you say, Subhanallah, He made me among all these creations, not just empowered, no, have authority over all other creations He made. I can go and buy a cow and slaughter and get milk. I can do this, I can ride the horse, I can, all of this under my own power and authority. That's Subhanallah, who I am. That's why when you write Subhanalladhi sakhara lana hadha wa ma kunna lahu muqrinin, glory to whom He has subdued this animal or this creation, to me. Anything can really repel you and get stronger than you. Ants can kill you, but Allah said, I protected you, I made you safe, and I give you the power and authority over all of this creation. So don't do it wrong, Jair. هو الذي, now number, I don't know, 4 or 5 out of these signs that all by the end of it will say Subhanallah or Subhanallahi wa ta'ala amma yushrikun. That's what we, Subhanallahi wa ta'ala amma yushrikun. Glory to Him and exalted above all His creation. And how wrong those who associate with Him any of His creation, how wrong they are. هو الذي أنزل من السماء ماء لكم منه شراب ومنه شجر فيه تسيمون ينبت لكم به الزرع والزيتون والنخيل والأعناب ومن كل الثمرات إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يتفكرون. Now the next one is water, rain.
Allah, it is who sends down the water, the rain from the sky. From it you drink, from it grows the vegetation on which you pasture your cattle. With it Allah causes to grow for you the crops, the olives, the date palms, the grapes, and every kind of fruits and vegetables. Verily in this is indeed an evident proof and a manifest sign for people who give reflection, give thought.
Okay. Here, in regard to the rain, Allah mentioned just few obvious benefits that we use, but it is limitless. You can't. One is drinking. And then second, all these vegetations that sustain all the animals. And the third, grains. And then the fruit, zaytun and nahl and a'nab. And all kind of fruit, or all kind of thamara, all kind of offsprings, whatever it is comes from it. This is a manifestation, a sign for those who reflect.